Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Tennessee Urology. Their staff has been working to see as many patients as possible through all of this, both in person for serious and emergency needs and also through their telehealth system. These are the folks who helped me through my cancer fight, and needless to say, I trust them very much. Tennessee Urology, tnurology.com to learn more. As I say, they are in the process of opening up more and more, so you can get in there to see them, and also you can still take advantage of their telehealth system. Tennessee Urology. All right, back with Josh Ward and Mike Strange down here. I want to talk about Rebels, but you made a good point here, and somebody made a good point here in between segments. I was going to talk about the fact that you have Maryville High School with the Rebels. And you got a lot of Indian names around here. Loudon Redskins. You've got Min County Cherokees. What are the other Cherokees around South
Doyle, I believe.
You've got Indians. You've got quite a few Indian nicknames at high schools around here as well. But let's talk about Rebels. You've had coaches at Ole Miss who say we got to get rid of all the imagery. And they have, for the most part. They got rid of the rebel flag. They created a flag that's a block M that kind of looks like the rebel flag. But
they got rid of Colonel Rebel.
They got rid of Colonel Reb, and now they're getting rid of the state flag. I mean, Lane Kiffin made a big push to get rid of that, as did the coach at Mississippi State, whose name escapes me
Mike
right
Leach.
now, who almost came in, Mike Leach.
And Nikki McRae was involved.
Yeah.
She spoke with the coaches.
So you're seeing that stuff go. It's got to be difficult if you're the coach at Ole Miss at any sport to recruit an African-American athlete to a school named Rebels. That has to be, at some point, an issue that you have to deal with. But that nickname Rebels, I mean, they still have parties down there where people dress in Confederate outfits. Maybe that's why they haven't had great success in their athletic programs over the years. UNLV is also the Rebels. They are looking at changing theirs. Interestingly, they were the Rebels because they broke off from the University of Nevada and they rebelled. Yeah, but they took on a logo that was a Confederate just for the sake of doing it. Now they're looking at changing Rebels to Sharks, like Jerry Tarkanian. But here's my question. Is it time for Rebels to go? Josh Ward, put you in the hot seat.
Sure. My immediate answer would be no, that I don't think they need to do away with the name. You continue and will see the separation from the Confederate flag or the logo. That's also going to continue to be hard, right? As long as you have the Rebel nickname, it's going to just continue to show up, and you're going to continue to have that fight. I would also say continue to have conversations, though. Talk to the athletes, see what they think. Talk to the black students at the schools, the athletes at the schools, college and high school level. Doesn't mean you have to do away with the conversation. I think that should continue, and maybe educate others as well.
I think I've never been recruited. I've never been an African American who was recruited by Ole Miss or anything. My hunch, and from what I've read, would be that the iconography, the rebel flag, playing Dixie, would be more offensive than the actual nickname. But I could be wrong about that. If you can separate the rebel flag and the playing Dixie and Colonel Rebel mascot. What their mascot now at Ole Miss is a bear, a black bear, I think.
Black bear.
So
and everybody makes fun of that when, Tennessee Vols have a dog. I mean, a lot of these schools have animal mascots that don't have anything to do with their actual nickname. But they're the black bear.
I would certainly, if I were Ole Miss or if I were Maryville High School or anybody with that particular nickname that we're talking about, I'd talk to my athletes and see how they felt about it. And I don't think if you were starting a nickname right now, you'd pick Rebels.
Yeah, if you're picking one today, I don't think you go with Rebels. That's a good point. I think it's interesting that it was an army that got crushed. And how many people say, hey, let's name ourselves after an army that got crushed? And they fought for slavery. Yes, that's what we need to be. It'd be interesting to go back and see when a lot of these schools got these names. How many of them came about in the 50s and 60s? And now, if you've had that nickname since the 1880s, 1890s, okay. But I wonder how many of these schools were named that during the Civil Rights battle, and it was a statement somebody was making. It's going to be hot, though, for a while. I would expect people to have some calls. I think Dan Wolken recently called for Ole Miss to change their nickname. Ole Miss is more on the front line than anybody else with this, I think.
It's a conversation that's going to continue to get cranked up. The volume's not lowering anytime soon.
No. Okay, very good. When we come back, Tennessee announced they're going to go to digital mobile tickets in full this year for football, if there are tickets that are going out. Do we like that, or is there something you lose in not having the paper tickets? Come on back, we'll discuss.